Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, 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 welcome. How are you? Pop-up live tarot card reading. I'm back. I wanted to pull a few cards. I'm gonna wait a minute for some more people to come in, and definitely wanna tap into the essence of what is being offered to us. Deep emotional healing. Miracles can happen in this energy. Miracles have been happening for me, and I want to extend that energy with everyone else. So welcome. How y'all doing? Who in here with me? Drop your name and drop your sign. I would love to know. Is it a Sagittarius in here with me? I feel a Sagittarius. Who got the Sag? Is it a Sag moon, Sag rising? I feel you. Who are you? I feel some Sag energy. I feel a Leo. Where my Leos at? Oh, drink plenty of fluids, y'all. Drink plenty of fluids. I haven't looked to see the exact time of this eclipse. But drink plenty of fluids. Give your body plenty of rest. Okay, who are here with me? Hey, Alicia. Leo. I knew I felt the Leo. Ashe. When the Leos come in, you just know. When y'all enter any room, you just know, right? How are you? Woo! Okay, so this is a prenumeral eclipse. I'm gonna give y'all a little more time, okay? This is a prenumeral eclipse. So the moon is basically gonna pass into the outer part of the Earth's shadow. So what are you feeling? What shadow stuff is coming up? Blogger God, Ashe, your first time? Well, welcome to my little corner in the new verse. Hi, Blogger God. So I'm going to pull some cards. I want to just get straight in it because I, as an empath, when I went out among people today, I could just feel the mental activity and the emotional uncomfort. And people are looking for something to make them feel better. You're looking for something to do. You're looking for something. You feel tired, but you feel like you need to be doing something at the same time. It's just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, right? What am I supposed to be? Dr. Faro, Ashe. What am I supposed to be doing? And just being out today, I can feel that energy. So May 5th, tomorrow, okay? May 5th, tomorrow at 3:14, 15:14 military time. Okay, this is when the eclipse is going to begin. The maximum eclipse will be at 5:22. The reason I'm saying this to you because it is so important what you're doing, what you're thinking about during the eclipse. Okay, so think these are the main celestial bodies that control the water on the planet, the tides, right? Then you have sun, which is the consciousness. Mama Earth, she's been going through so many things. We're not the only ones being light body activated. Mama Earth is also being activated. And you know, what good does it do to be activated and you don't get to experience anything different in life? We're being offered this invitation to experience something different. And I know for me, when I'm feeling into it, I feel fear. And I really don't know where it's coming from. I'm afraid to drive in certain routes. I just get this feeling like I probably shouldn't go that way. I'm afraid to make certain just career and business decisions. Maybe y'all feeling this too. Maybe it's some things you want to talk to somebody about. You've been wanting to get it off your heart and you're afraid. You know what I'm saying? You're afraid to say something. A lot of us are afraid of intimacy, but we crave connection. Talk about shadow shit. Right? And we all went through some form of trauma. Everybody on this planet experienced some form of trauma. You know, recently I had surgery, dental surgery. And dental surgery never feels good. But you know when you get on the other side of that, whatever pain you have been feeling before that is going to be better. And that's what this is like. Like, just be with yourself. Practice being with these emotions. Scorpio is all about emotions, but it's also about the emotional body. So what's in your emotional body? Have you been saying things like, I believe that I was chosen to end generational curses in my family? If that resonates with you, you're going to have stuff come up in your emotional body. You're going to notice the areas where you aren't being your full self. You aren't being bold in love. You are being afraid. You are people pleasing or just being avoidant. Maybe you're being very aggressive and easily angered by people and easily triggered and frustrated. And you get frustrated with yourself because you get frustrated. And then we just kind of, at that point, we spiral into creating this energy around us based on our thoughts combined with our emotions. That creates a vortex. Whether you can see it or not, your aura is a reflection of your mental and emotional energy. It's a reflection of the dialogue inside that nobody can hear. And so many of us are struggling right now inside of our emotional selves, inside of our mental selves. And as someone who, I went no contact with my biological family because of some of the effects of trauma and narcissism. And some of the dysfunctional patterns, it got to a point where I felt like if I didn't change directions, that I was going to die. That I was going to live a life where I did not reach my fullest potential. I was going to live my life in service to others who aren't capable of feeling and seeing my pain and seeing the areas where I need help. And sometimes I need a shoulder to cry on, somebody to talk to. I felt like I gave more than I received, and I had a very high tolerance for bullshit. So I attracted people and situations and circumstances because my tolerance for bullshit was so high. And when I say bullshit, I'm talking about toxicity. You know, it don't matter where it's coming from, who it's coming from. We are being called to let these things go. Our ego, the ego just want to save you, right? The ego, we created our ego when we was kids. We didn't understand why we were going through the things we were going through. And some of us are in that space where we're like, do I need to go no contact? Because these people trigger me a lot. Do we need to break up? Do we need to get divorced? Like, I don't know what to do. And we're kind of in that limbo space right now leading up to the eclipse. So there are a few things that you want to make sure that you are not doing during the eclipse if you can help it. I know some of you work, so you may be working and have to leave the home during the eclipse. If you see people outside trying to see the eclipse and record it, and you intend to activate indigenous ancestral wisdom inside of you, I would recommend you not go outside and record and watch the eclipse. I've done that before. It usually creates chaos in the mind of those who are observing. It's exciting while you're watching it. But a lot of indigenous cultures did not do that. It was a time of silence. It was a time of prayer. It was a time of inner reflection. It was a time to be with your own self, a time to give offerings to your ancestors or any spirit guides that you may work with. There are times that you pay bills and times that you don't when it will benefit your financial situation, which I had happened to me recently. Knowing these times, knowing that there is divine timing isn't a mystery, right? Divine timing is something that astrology, numerology, and many other Gnostic and hidden teachings teach us how to capitalize on divinity, on the movement of spirit and the timing. So with that being said, I know that we all have something that we are hoping changes. We all have something in our life that we don't feel like is in alignment with who we really are. We all have something that we don't feel like aligns with us anymore, but maybe we don't know how to make the shift. Maybe we don't know how to let go of some of the things that we need to let go of. So I am going to pull some cards for us to see what message is the eclipse bringing for us. What should we be paying more attention to? And I really feel like those of us who adhere to these things, even if you are new to all of this and you're like, whoa, I didn't know that there was certain things that I should not be doing during the eclipse, or that it would benefit me to do. What are those things? When I am done doing this, I created a blog. This is my first 2 days back working. I created a blog all about the eclipse, feminine energy. I talked about the Black Madonna. I talked about protection. It's so many miracles that happen to me that I don't tell people about. And when I talk to people close to me, I realize that there are so many other things that I could share with the community that resonate with me that I don't. So I'm going to be sharing more about that. I'm going to tell you some of the do's and don'ts for you to adhere to for whatever it is you're hoping to benefit. This is just like cooking, right? You don't take the cake out of the oven before it has risen, right? There are rules to cooking. And cooking is, these are really annoying me and keep moving, but cooking is very much like this energy we're in now, your recipe. And everything that was given to you, what seems to be a curse, it's a gift. It is a gift. What? You mean all the shit that I went through, like, it don't feel like no gift? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But it is. And we're learning how to become more mature in our consciousness. We're learning how to separate how things feel from how we desire things to be. We're learning how to use the law of attraction. Work with the law of attraction. And sometimes it's the things that we're thinking about the most. It's the ways we're allowing ourselves to feel. It's the lack of boundaries. It's the fear of not... We fear change, yet we know we need it, right? And so you have a mixed bag of vibrational frequencies moving and circulating around you. So of course you're going to attract what seems to be chaos, and you're going to feel stuck. So I want to pull some cards to help us with this. So greetings everybody. What's up, Shadow Music? How are you, Unicorrector? I see, is any of y'all a member on the website? Because I did send out a push notification that I was going to be live, because I know sometimes they don't pop up. I'm assuming some of y'all here because you saw that notification. Hey, Keisha. That's my sister right there. I'm glad you called me too, sis. My heart is full. I can't hold it in. You know, I got what would be considered to be bad news today, and I was like, damn it. I have not overcome death, chronic illness, heart disease, staph infections, 15 surgeries, trauma, sexual trauma, abuse, car wrecks, overdoses. Like, the list goes on, and I have not come this far without wisdom. And that's what I intend to share more of. And yeah. So I'm full. My heart is full. Marino, peace to you. I feel a Scorpio that slid in here. Who that Scorpio? Somebody, it's another Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio moon. Somebody here that slid in here. This is shadow stuff. So I want to say to you, if you have not been keeping up with your routine, your spiritual routine, this might be a great time for you to do that. It's so important that we do that. Everything is a ritual. Everything in our life is a ritual. Brushing our teeth, how we take care of ourselves, what we do in our home, what we do when we get to work. Everything is a ritual. What we do at school. Do you have rituals that support this spiritual being that you are being activated to be? It's so important. And we sleep on that. Watching YouTube videos and reading books is not going to bring transformation in your life. It is the practical application. And you do it every day as much as possible, and you don't fucking give up. You don't. I am proof. You do not give up. You take breaks, but you don't give up. I shade Fly God. Fly God, how you doing? Oh, I love you too. I'm so glad you are on the mend. No trauma formed against you shall never prosper. I shade Fly God. Look at that love. You connect with this energy and you give with this energy, and I'm telling you, miracles happen all day, every day. All day, every day. You are a miracle. If you're watching me now, that's why you here. That's why you breathing. Y'all got stories. Y'all been through stuff. You ain't went through that for nothing. Look, we gonna leverage this shadow shit, right? And we gonna learn how to work with these emotions and love ourselves no matter what's coming up. You gotta love the part of you that's angry. You have to learn to love the part of you that is afraid to open up, the part of you that's afraid of intimacy, the part of you that got self-hatred. Like, love them parts of you. Them parts, they just want to be embraced. They want to be seen. That's the part of us that want to be seen, but we don't want to be seen too much. We don't want to go too big. Somebody call you up on the stage and tell you to sing, and you love to sing and have a beautiful voice, but you won't do it. What is that? What is that thing? You want this relationship, and you're like, I want a relationship that just takes me deeper than I've ever been before, and I get to know parts of myself that I never met before. I just want a relationship that puts me in a situation where I have to evolve and grow, and the opportunity comes, and you get fearful, avoidant, or you get detached. Maybe you have disorganized attachment, right? Maybe you have a perfectionist, wounded child archetype, and you looking for all of the things wrong with the relationship and the person, and you're not even leveraging what you have and what you can work with. And this is not just with other people. This begins within you, baby, because every relationship in our life starts with us. So let's see what these cards got to say. We're finna go in here, y'all. I love y'all. Cosmic riding. Yes, ex unknown. All right. After the storm. After the storm. What's going on with this? After the storm. You know, the owl is the hunter. The owl is not the prey. The owl knows what to do in the darkness. The owl don't need to see how it's going to find its prey. The owl knows how to position itself to where what is desired is attracted. The owl you don't see owls out working real hard to attain anything. You know, when storms come, if you watch and pay attention to animals, you see that they behave differently. Even they know, depending on what the atmosphere is doing, determines what we should be doing. Animals are more in tune with spirit than a lot of us are. And that's no fault of our own. It's just, it is what it is, and we're learning. So let's see what this after the storm is about. There's a thunderstorm about, and it is either headed your way or just passing through now. Don't make a thunderstorm mean more than what it is, though. You don't have to fear it. You might even feel excitement about it. After all, a thunderstorm is just nature's way of gathering energy together that needs to be released anyway. With the release of tension, relief and freedom soon follow, often with a fresh perspective and perhaps the gift of a promising, hopeful vision for your future. Perhaps the particular storm building within you or around you is causing you to quake in your boots. It might be a storm of building emotions, threatening to erupt or already exploding, seemingly beyond your conscious control. You might feel uncomfortable in a sense of emotional or psychological pressure within, as if something doesn't happen soon, you fear that you might burst. You may also sense that these are forces operating beyond your control. And you would be right. There is. In life and in the creative process, a need to allow for wild storms. There will be those precious moments of peace beforehand and the release and revitalization that follows. Yet the storm in the middle is essential. It is a natural part of the creative process. Without this building and releasing of energy, we would suffer from boredom and stagnancy. You may prefer the excitement of the storm or the fresh, open feeling that accompanies its clearing. You may find it confronting to be faced with the power of something in which you can only participate rather than control. How many of us have been trying to control what cannot be controlled? That's part of the process of becoming, right? And so many people tell you like discipline, and if you continue to think this way and apply yourself, and things will work out, and sometimes it don't. A lot of us suffer not because of the storm in our life, it's our attachment and the meaning we assign into it. And we create our own suffering, right? It says either way, the storm wisdom offers you the gift of bringing things to a head and clearing them away so that the energy can be freed from a pattern that has had its day and is ready to become something new. Sometimes the pressures that fuel the storms of our lives have been building up for a long time without us being fully aware of it. It might be pressure from our own minds, creating unnecessary burdens upon us, such as burdens of fear or self-doubt. It could be pressure to appear a certain way, or to fight against life out of a mistaken belief that this is necessary for your survival. Sometimes the pressure is little more than the impossible dream of perfection and a need to gently or even with great dynamic flourish cast that aside so that you can dare to be what you are, so that you can dare to be what you are and create from your heart. Even if you are not sure what the storm is about, don't lose confidence in your ability to successfully bear its progression until you are safely at the other side of the experience. I literally just said that. On the other side of the experience, there's wisdom, there's resilience. You've collected information, you learned something about yourself. Words don't teach. Even amongst the chaos of change and in moments of anxiety, know that you have so much light and trust in your heart that you can see the storm and it's passing. It's simply a process, and it's nothing that you need to worry about. If you can't sense the storm yet, this oracle is important for you. The storm is coming, and you can, if you wish, feel for the beautiful, exhilarating gift of it as you are empowered to cast aside what has been and receive the gift of a fresh new take on things. Your confidence is to remain intact. Whatever is happening or soon will happen in your life, this storm of sorts is transformational and supportive of your growth. It is going to clear away cobwebs and free you, open you to new creative energy and life. Remember, there can be no rainbows without a little rain. This oracle is a confirmation that you've been praying for help. Your prayers have been heard, and the great creative intelligence of our universe is responding to you, stepping in and shaking things up so that situations can be sorted out according to a greater wisdom. So let go. Hold only to your inner self and allow everything to be cleansed in the sacred storm. I know y'all like, look, this is easier said than done. But I want you to use your past as leverage for proof that you have what it takes to get on the other side of whatever storm develops in your life or may already have developed. Don't let your past be proof of something that's not who you really are. If you overcame anything, it's proof that you have what it takes, that you have been equipped. It's proof that you are resilient. You do have wisdom. You do know how to innovate your life. Sometimes you just need to innovate. It's not you having to change anything. Just innovate. Like, think about it. A lot of us went to bed hungry. Some of us didn't grow up with a lot of money. Some of us didn't grow up so many things. There's so many things that you are now that you would have never been able to wrap your mind around becoming as a result of storms that you had went through. As kids, we weren't afraid of storms. We danced in the rain. Maybe it's time for us to dance in the rain. As spiritual, heart-led beings, we are being evicted out of our head. Your logical mind cannot make things make sense anymore because the heart is saying, look, let me take over. You've done enough. You thinking, you strategizing, you constantly trying to figure out how to fix something that's not meant to be fixed. Just let the process go through its transformation as you're experiencing it. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to try to, like, what would happen if you just let go and threw the cards in the air and say, look, I'm just going to show up and do the best I can, and what I cannot control, I won't worry about it. Now I'm going to share with you a healing process that can help you to be able to do this, because if this storm ain't came yet, it's coming. And it ain't coming to hurt us. Okay? It's coming because a lot of us have not met that part of us yet. That's the victor, right? The triumphant part of you, the higher self, the I divine self, the Ori, the head. It's not about the head. It's about aligning the head and the heart. That part of you, you meet that part of you when you go through the storms. Don't sleep on this, y'all. Okay? Practice opening your heart to whatever is coming into your life to challenge you, because it is to show you a part of you that maybe you forgot about. Now, what you can do is to really, really embody this energy to prepare yourself for this. And first, let me say this. A lot of us don't really consider how sacred our breath is. Just stop and just breathe. You don't have to do pranayama. You don't have to get super technical with it. Just stop and slow your breath down. And in between those breaths, when you feel the storm occurring, with whatever it is that you may be going through, experiencing, just take that breath and know that each breath is a prayer. I tell myself this: every breath is a prayer. Every breath that I breathe is a prayer. Every breath that I breathe is communion with me in spirit. Every breath that I breathe is life. Every breath that I breathe is giving me more life, no matter what it looks like, no matter how it feels. If there's nothing that I can be grateful for, I'm grateful that I can take a breath. And I'm telling y'all, I've been in ICU and been on life support and had tubes in me breathing for me. I was conscious enough to know I'm not breathing on my own. This machine is doing it, and it was such an uncomfortable feeling to be conscious of that. We sleep on our breath. And if you grew up in America like most of us did, nobody really taught us the power of breath, the sacredness of breath. Breath actually changes the mental energy that you are existing in. So if you can't do nothing else, if you can't control nothing else, make sure that you bring the sacred communion to your breath. And if you find yourself breathing in your chest, fight or flight, I believe all of us go into fight or flight for many different reasons, and some of them got a lot to do with past trauma, but also they have a lot to do with the fact that those who resonate with the content that I create here, you're called to process this stuff. You're called to clear this from the genetics, to clear this from the patterns, so that we're creating future descendants and future energies to exist in that's not based in fear, that's not based in hatred. We're moving to that space. That's why the 3D Matrix is trying so hard to make us be worried about breath. We've been walking around with masks on. We've been feeling like we can't even trust our breath. You can't even get on the airplane without seeing somebody arguing about somebody having a mask on. Like, you see the attack on the breath, right? Even the trees don't look the same. So breath is sacred. And with each exhale, we are feeding the trees so that they can continue to create oxygen. So if you don't do nothing else, know that you can always control it. Unless you on life support. But if you're watching me, you're not on life support. So I want you to know how sacred that is. And there was a time in my life where I wasn't sure if I was going to take another breath. And I struggled to take each breath. I had to consciously tell myself, breathe, breathe. And I was afraid to go to sleep because I'm like, if I fall asleep and I stop breathing, I'm going to die. So breath is sacred. And you do have control over that. Now, you can find a quiet place. And in this quiet place, you can repeat these words. If you want to come back to this video, when you get ready to do this, I highly recommend ceremony as often as possible, because this eclipse energy is going to be around for at least the next 10 years. And what you're doing, the way you show up, the way you think, it creates an imprint. It creates a vibrational pattern called a mandala. And that's the pattern of life. That's where you walk through the day, what you're thinking about when you're doing it, what you say, how you treat yourself, how you treat others. So we're creating sacred geometry through life. Ceremony, it's essential for any person desiring to be connected to spirit. Storms so wild, storms of grace. I call your blessing into my heart now. May I release and let go. May I be revitalized and grow. I open my heart to you now. Storms of grace, I stand my ground as I allow your magic to cleanse and surround any outgrown energy which I no longer need, anything which will sap or deplete me rather than feed. Storms of grace, merciful earth, with your help, I experience a rebirth. And when you complete making this declaration, whether you play it back, write it down, just place your hands in prayer at your heart. Close your eyes for a moment. And you take that sacred breath in and out. And become aware of whatever thoughts you are having in that moment. And don't judge it. Become aware of the way that you are feeling, what may be happening in your body. But don't judge it. And from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, you complete this ceremony with the power of your own words and breath by saying, through divine creative genius, this is now so. Or so mote it be. I like to say Ashe, whatever works for you. The purpose of this is for us to stop searching for something outside of us to fulfill us, to make us feel whole, complete, happy. A lot of us don't know how to use the power of our words and our breath. You might watch a video about it and you get excited, but when it comes down to it, you don't stop and do it. And I don't want to give you something that's going to shift your focus to something outside of you. I really want us to take this time to reflect. Whatever's showing up in your body, for those of you who have tight muscles in the neck, tight muscles in the shoulders, I have a routine that I do every single night, because as this energy is transforming us, that tightness that we feel in certain areas of the body, it constricts the ability for the anointing oil of the sacrum to rise up the spine to the crown chakra, which connects to the cosmos, and this connects to the heavens. It creates a toroidal field around you. So if you have tight muscles, pay attention to that, okay? It will affect your cognitive ability. You will become forgetful, and it will be more difficult for you to regulate your emotions. I'll share one of my favorite videos that I use as well, if you would like that, on the community tab right here on YouTube when I'm done with this that I use. You want to try to do this every night. We've got to show up for ourselves more often. Your back. If your back is communicating to you that it's some pain and some tension there, don't ignore it. Back in the day, we would pop a BC or Tylenol or something, and now the body is like, I want you to be in sacred communion with me too. I want you to rub me when I need to be rubbed, hold me when I need to be held. Stretch. You know, if you don't do anything else, stretch. I know a lot of us experience fatigue. A lot of us who are energy healers, we're tired because we've been carrying so much throughout our life. And we've been carrying other people's emotions and burden too. Don't get me started with women in the feminine. We're created to carry energy. And we have been absorbing other people's pain, our children, our spouses, trying to carry it for them, and then the body is giving out. So this is a very feminine energy coming in, and you want to bring the sacred communion to the body with the breath and with your own words. So yeah, Shadow Music, you like, how you know I got neck pain? Yeah, because it's a whole thing. I talked about this in the channel message that I posted on Patreon. It's something called text neck, and it comes a lot from us looking down at our devices, forward head posture. If you drive a lot, sitting at the computer, it is causing people to have more than just, it's not just the neck, the whole body is a system. So we're getting these light code activations, but it's not moving up and down the spine the way it's supposed to, because we got tension that we haven't been tending to. You know, so that's important for you to do that. For those of you who would like some help, like me, showing up every day with a tarot card reading, an inspirational message to get your day started, something to shift your focus to, and exercises. The inner child healing is not just inner child healing, it's so much more than that, but it all starts with the inner child. All you got to do is click the link in the description. I talk about these courses. I use all of this stuff myself, and I'm telling you, it not only keeps me, it not only quiets my mind enough to hear spirit speak, because when I can't hear spirit speak to me, even if I am in the middle of chaos or a storm, being able to hear spirit speak to me and receive guidance, it does make me feel better. I feel protected. And a lot of us are looking for safety, because the frequencies that we in, safety isn't something that's just handed to us now. We're actually having to put intention, using our words for the purpose of creating safety, creating mental stability and emotional regulation, learning how to work with the breath. Yoga, it's important. You might see me cooking, and I be cooking and stretching and doing moves while I'm stretching. Just listen to your body and don't ignore your body. For those of us who have environments that we work in, where maybe it's difficult for you to just hold a certain vibration because of people you work around, or maybe because of people that you live with, like, that's okay. Everybody is going through something. Even if people not communicating or talking about it, a lot of us got a false self mask for every fucking emotion we don't want people to know we dealing with. right? And so a lot of us are just trying to survive. We're just trying to get through the day. We're just trying to make enough money to pay bills. We're just trying to, make sure that we have food. We're trying to watch our investments. We're wanting to get into real estate. Like, it's so many different things. We want to learn how to be farmers and grow food. Like, we're getting these activations and desire to learn things and do things, but if you're not regulating your life patterns with ceremonies, it gets difficult. So I talked about that with the neck and with the back specifically. The spine ultimately is Jacob's ladder. It is in the connection of the Kundalini energy rising up to assist us. So healing the chakras, figuring out, like, is some of this back pain because of my root chakra? Because a lot of my back pain was because of my root chakra. The more I worked on my root chakra, my back hardly ever hurts now. So a lot of times we just are being called to pay more attention to the energy that exists within our body, the programming that's in it. So that's there, and in 3D Matrix Detox as well. Check that out, because I took all of the meditations, the ceremonies, everything that y'all told us y'all was dealing with, everything from readings that I've done with y'all that we talked about. I took all of that and we gathered that information and put it together in these courses, because a lot of us are spiritual people, but we're not doing spiritual stuff. We're not doing it, and I get it. It's not your fault. I'm not blaming you. You're not bad. You're not wrong. We used to distracting ourselves from what we're dealing with. That's the 3D world, and we're shifting into a whole new world where you can't ignore your body. You can't ignore relationships that aren't healthy. So if you're in an environment where it feels toxic, work on you. Focus on you to the point where when you walk in a space, you become the Palo Santo. You become the sage, and you know how to create boundaries around your mental space and your emotional space, so that you're not absorbing other people's mental, emotional energy. And so I broke down that toxic substance that's held within the astral realm from all of the things that have ever been thought from the beginning of time to the end, and we know there's no real beginning and end. So that's what creates the astral realm. It can't be seen, it's only felt. And the more sensitive we are becoming energetically, the more that we feel the astral realm. This is the realm of thoughts. So our thoughts are either polluting our life or healing our life. And that's good to know, because that means everything that you need is already inside of you. Nothing is outside of you. So, thank y'all. Hey, Renita, I see you in here. We've been praying for your mom. Marina, what's up? Let's see, did I miss anybody? Kristen, Worthy, Madonna, I like that. Yes, Dance in the Rain. Oh, thank you, Alana. Honey, if I can't do nothing else but have you some cute glasses, I just like to wake up and keep it simple now. I used to be a full face makeup kind of girl. When I started getting serious about ceremonies and my spiritual practices, so much. It's so much I want to share with y'all and tell y'all. A lot of it is in the course, though. A lot of it is on Patreon. If you want to go there and get the things that I'm using, we call them rituals, because I literally studied this stuff and applied it to some of the most difficult times in my life to see, like, I don't want to read nothing in the book and believe it. I need to feel it. I need to experience it. But that's there. But I'm going to share some more. But I think it was one more thing. Oh, I'm going to take the do's and don'ts for this eclipse energy, and I'm going to post it on the website. This is going to be free for everybody. All you have to do is go to newverselive.com, click on the blog section. I'm going to go and add that. And I'm also going to add the routine that I use for my physical body. And when I wake up and before I go to sleep, I'm going to do that as well. I just want to be able to give something to y'all, because I've been through many storms. I've weathered so many storms, and I always come out on top. I know how to get in the eye of the storm. And I noticed that I had not been sharing enough of that. That's what I believe. That's what ultimately the soul is here to experience and evolve, to learn how to go through life and not be attached to the suffering. and connect with people in a way where we create peace, we create bliss, we create love when we vibe together. That's my ultimate goal. And if y'all only knew, I spend at least 12, 13 hours out of the day doing ceremonies and rituals, and I still have a family, and I don't want anybody to be neglected. I want to make sure they got cooked meals. I want them to have healthy food. Like, it's a lot. It is. Um, but I'm dedicated to what I know it is that we are here to experience, and I need more people to be dedicated like this. You don't have to do as much as I'm doing. I mean, I am a little extra sometimes. Sometimes you just need to relax. But even while you relax and connect with your breath and your words, and just see what's inside, what's happening, what am I thinking about? Why do I get triggered? Am I judging my triggers, and what can I do? Water is cleansing. Take your spiritual baths, your spiritual showers. Do your meditations. And look, y'all, when you get real low and you just feel like ain't nothing going the way I hoped it would, that's the moment when you stop and you pray for others. I mean, like, just stop whatever you're doing and be like, you know what? I can't control this right now that's happening with me. Let me just stop. I don't even want to think about me right now. How can I be a blessing to somebody else in this moment? You don't have to pick up the phone and call people. You don't have to want to be around people all the time. It's good to spend time alone. But in those moments, we feel like that because you're supposed to be sending out a transmission of love versus waiting on something to come in and make you feel loved, make you feel better. A lot of times we sleep on our ability to send out the energy of love. So do that more often too, especially for the kids. Our kids really getting hit hard with these activations. They not used to our 3D shit. They our kids, they are different. They came here with a very specific soul mission. I talk about that as well on Patreon, learning the Atmakarika, which is the soul planet of your children and yourself, knowing the galactic signature. These things were left for us to use, and if you're not using them during this time and you come across the information, you're going to feel the difference in that. For those of us who are doing shadow work, keep doing it, but make sure that you are feeding the light in yourself, okay? Because looking at the things about you that you have ignored for most of your life, it will drain you, get you down, and you'll get depressed, and you'll go into a dark night of the soul cycle and be there way longer than you have to. Feed your light, and you do that by sending out love, calling for protection. Y'all know what these kids be going through, okay? So that's what we here to do, okay? We're not here to play them games, and we are more than capable of regulating our emotions through this time. I'm going to be talking about this more. I'm going to be talking about codependency. That's only feeling good when people around you, connected to you, feel good about you. I'm an expert at that one. I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about how a lot of people don't feel fulfilled in their relationships sexually and intimately, and not just sexually as in physical touch, but just feeling connected and bonded. A lot of us are looking up like, wait, something missing, you know? I'm going to be talking about that. That's spiritual. And I kind of drug my feet talking about it because I was like, people not ready to talk about this and hear this. People don't want to hear this. But the root of a lot of the misery that we feel is because we don't feel the connection in a space of love. Maybe you feel judged. Maybe you feel criticized a lot by somebody you're in a relationship with. Those things, maybe you feel like your needs don't even matter. All of those things, that's from trauma. It's from trauma, and we can change that by changing us. You are what you attract. Even if you don't see how, you are. And reprogramming your subconscious mind using the strategies that I teach. A lot of them I post here for free, like the hot potato. Just let it go. If it's a hot thought, a hot emotion, it's just too much, like, you can just let it go and release it. But send out love, y'all. That's so important. Love to nature, love to our family, to our children. Even if you no contact, I'm no contact with my family, and I still spend time praying for them and sending out love to them. So this is love when it's evolved, and that's what we're being called to do, to heal the dark feminine aspect of society, and that's the personal and collective shadow. I'm opening up the readings. I'm doing readings again. The schedule is open. Readings are $50 off. You don't need a coupon code. I'm gonna go and do that as soon as I'm done. So if you want to book a reading with me, it's a freaking experience, let me tell you. Cause sometimes y'all guides and ancestors just take over the reading, and I'm just like, okay. And I submit myself to whatever is coming through, and it's just so profound and amazing. So check out the testimonials about the readings. And for those of you who are already in the course, go ahead and start. Don't worry about finishing. Just start somewhere. You're not going to regret it, because you're investing in your spiritual relationship with spirit. That is the invitation we're being given with the Scorpio eclipse. All right. Y'all already know what it is. Man, your third eye has just been kissed. Namaste, namaste. Ashe. One love.